Now we'll start our discussion about tomatoes. Tomatoes actually are a type of edible red color berries. They actually come under the family of berries, and so they are actually fruits, but practically we include them under vegetables. And the botanical name is Solanum lycopersicum, and it is actually has its origin from western South America and Central America. And during the conquest of Spanish in Mexico, it was actually taken from America to Europe and then spread to other parts of the Europe. And this tomatoes actually have an unique flavor, that is umami flavor. But however, today with the hybrid varieties of tomatoes, that specific flavor has been lost. Whether tomato is a fruit or vegetable is still a question in many people's mind, but actually it is a type of fruit, as it is a type of berry. It is actually used in a variety of ways, especially in Indian foods. We use them as raw or cooked in many dishes, in fish curries, in non-veg curries, in all the vegetable curries, everything. And it is also used as preservatives, as in sauces and salads. Also, there are tomato squashes which are being used as drinks, and it actually is cultivable in temperate climates. But however, nowadays it is being cultivated in all climates, in all seasons, due to greenhouses. And the nutritious value of tomatoes, that one tomato contains 95% of water, 4% of carbohydrates, and less than 1% of fats and proteins. Around 100 milligram of a tomato contains 18 calories. Here, as we can see in this, the tomato also contains vitamin B6, potassium, vitamin K, vitamin A, and vitamin C. Among all these, we can see that it is mostly rich in vitamin C and vitamin A, and the specific uses of which we will see later. Actually, vitamin C is nothing but citric acid. It is good for the nourishment of the body, and vitamin A is very good for eyes. Vitamin K is actually a good antioxidant, and potassium content helps in lowering the BP, and vitamin B6, it helps in good brain development. So tomato as a whole is very important and essential for a normal growth of especially the children. Actually, the ideal storage of tomato should be unwashed and kept in room temperature out of direct sunlight, and it is strictly not recommended to refrigerate them because it harms the flavor permanently, and also the lycopene content of the tomato is reduced on refrigeration. But however, we are usually refrigerating it to prevent it from getting rotten very soon, but it is ideally not to refrigerate them. Nowadays there are varieties of tomatoes which are being cultivated in order to give some attraction to the buyers and for the children to make them eat. And some varieties are cherry tomatoes, which are actually small in size, very tender and snappy with very medium thickness of skin. The flavor of it is actually sweet, that is candy like, and juicy. Then we have green beef stick variety of tomato, that is bright green color, round and firm, with large size and meaty structure. The flavor is actually tart and crunchy with a little tangy. Then we have red beef stick tomato, which is large, firm, meaty, and a very bright red color. The flavor is actually mild, juicy with a balanced traditional tomato flavor. Then we have grape tomato, which are crisp and crunchy and usually oval grape shaped. And the flavor is usually sweet to tangy and a perfect sugar to acid balance for giving a rich taste. There are varieties of colors of this grape tomato. They can be yellow or red in color. Then we have cocktail tomatoes, which gives a very good aroma with soft walled and meaty texture. And the flavor is actually sweet and fruity aftertaste and very juicy with traditional tomato flavor. Then we have the heirloom tomatoes, which are deep, rich colored with variety of textures in the same red color itself. They have very good indentations to make them look beautiful and shiny, and the flavor is usually juicy with sweet to tangy type of taste. Then we have roma type of tomatoes, which are a very grainier and fleshy with very smooth walled and polished skin texture. The flavor is also like some tangy type and well balanced taste. Actually, the combination or hybrid of this roma type and the heirloom type tomatoes are what we call the Bangalore tomatoes in India. These Bangalore tomatoes are attracting the buyers to buy them as they are available at a very cheap rate and comparatively bigger in size than our country tomatoes. See, country tomatoes, it is actually heirloom or desi tomatoes. It is actually medium sized and its shape will be non-uniform with some flat and spherical shape, and there will be only shallow indentations at the stalk end. But this Bangalore tomato, it is actually a hybrid variety developed in Agriculture Institute of Bangalore with a hybrid of heirloom and roma variety of tomatoes and giving them a very uniform size and shape to make them look beautiful, and their shape is actually spherical to oblong shaped, and the taste is comparatively sweetish than the country tomatoes. But among all the varieties, it is said that it is the cherry type of tomato which is more healthier as it contains the highest beta carotene content among all the tomatoes. And this beta carotene content is nothing but a form of vitamin A that is good for vision. And the average per day consumption for an adult should be around 22 milligram per day. That is, you cannot like weigh every tomatoes, but it is approximately said that 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, that is the flesh of tomato without the skin, that 2 tablespoons of it is equal to 27 milligram. So per day taking 2 tablespoons of tomato puree approximately is very good for one's health. Apart from the health benefits, the tomato is also used as a very good ingredient in all the cosmetic products. And this is because it has its antioxidant property, and this antioxidant property is being used in many diseases like carcinoma, heart disease, and so on. This antioxidant property constituent of tomato, that is lycopene, is actually released on cooking. So along with raw tomatoes, it is also ideal to add tomatoes in our dishes while cooking so that this antioxidant constituent will get released. As I said, it is used as facial mask and tan removal creams. It is used as a homemade remedy for tan removal also. And since it is rich in potassium, it lowers the blood pressure. And since it is a good source of vitamins C and K, it helps in various diseases like anemia and so on. It is actually a good source of folate. which is B6, and this folate is actually helpful for brain development. So it is very useful to give this tomato to the growing children so that the brain development will be faster and healthier. All these health benefits are actually not theoretical but proved in a study made by John Shee and Mark Lee Magyar in 2010. Too much of something is good for nothing. So, similarly, too many of tomatoes also have some side effects like acid reflexes due to the malic and citric acid in the tomatoes. Also, allergies can be caused due to the histamine present inside the tomatoes. And the most important thing is that it causes kidney stones. That is, since the tomato contains calcium and oxalate, these constituents, when taken by a person who does not consume adequate amount of water per day, the calcium and oxalate may get deposited in the kidney tubules and are not metabolized easily, leading to a risk of kidney stone formation. And due to the alkaloid known as solanine present in the tomatoes, the calcium tends to deposit in the tissues, which causes joint pains. Also, there is a condition called leukophenodermia, which is the skin discoloration due to consumption of alcohol more than 75 milligram per day. And rarely the consumption of alcohol causes diarrhea, which is due to the bacteria called as salmonella, which is present in it. That's all about tomatoes. I think you all would have enjoyed this video. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe and support us. Thank you.